And we now speak to the Philippine government's representative in Japan, Ambassador Jose Castillo Laurel V. Ambassador Laurel, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on New Day.
Good morning.
Ambassador, how many Filipinos are affected by this declaration in Japan, and how are they dealing with this declaration of state of emergency there?
Well, all Filipinos who are permanently residents and legitimate residents registered in the Japanese immigration are affected. This is basically going to be roughly about 287,000 Filipinos, because that's the number of Filipinos who are affected in the seven prefectures or provinces that have been declared under emergency status.
And Ambassador, how are they dealing with this now with these new stricter measures in place?
Well, most of them have stayed here for quite some time, roughly about 2 decades, 20 years. And they have been following the cultural practices of bowing, of not shaking hands, basically, but by giving courtesies. Culturally, the Japanese follow the rules. There are no imposition of penalties imposed by the government, because that is not within their the limits of their law. However, the spread has been relatively slow, but because of the nature of the coronavirus, the COVID-19, it has crept up little by little. Now it has reached almost 1,000 per day, and they have decided that emergency measures should be taken.
Sir, do you have any update on the Filipinos affected by the coronavirus? How many COVID cases are there in Japan among our kababayans?
Our kababayans, there is one in Aichi Prefecture, one in Tokyo, one in Osaka, and one, as of late, in Okinawa. There are only 4 victims or who have contracted the coronavirus.
Do we have any information, sir, on what their condition might be?
They are quite stable. They are in the hospitals. The expenditure has been answered by the Japanese government. Although we have had 80 that have been repatriated, aside from the 543 that have been also repatriated from the Diamond Princess cruise lines.
I see, sir. And lastly, what kind of assistance is our embassy able to extend to our kababayans in Japan?
Well, basically, we are on what they call minimized task force, because we are also required to be segregated and not going into meetings of more than 5 people. And we have divided a minimum team of 2, A and B. The A is handled by myself, and B by the Deputy Chief of Mission, which is my number 2 man. And all services are extended to Filipinos, but we have stopped issuing visas and consular services because nobody's moving. All airplane and ships have been canceled. PAL does not fly. ANA and JAL does not fly to the Philippines. And even the people in Delta have not been allowed to fly. So the consular services have been suspended.
Yes.
That's basically what it is. And now, insofar
Ambassador, what are the changes that you've noticed since the declaration?
well, it was only declared last night at 6 o'clock, the state of emergency. So I cannot give you a real current situation. But, however, I can say this that over the past week, 7 days, the people going out on the streets is getting lesser and lesser and lesser. They're following the rules. And nobody is really violating it very blatantly. You're only allowed to go to groceries, hotels. You're not allowed to go to hotels, groceries, and clinics. The medicine stores.
That's right. Just all the essentials. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We do appreciate it. Ambassador Jose Laurel V.